Hey everybody, it's Eric with What's in the Box, and we are continuing the Texas Horror Lit Fest author interviews. Today I am joined by James Oliver. How's it going?
Going great. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you on here. You wrote a book, I want to say it was last year, that I'm super interested and excited to get off of your table. It's Mad Maxian
Oh
uh,
yeah.
thing, and we'll get into all your books later in the interview where we can show off some covers and stuff. But I have been chomping at the bit to meet you in person so that I can get a copy of that book off your table. So
I'll make
I'm a
sure to
huge
have one
Mad
for you.
Max. I'm a huge Mad Max nerd, so I like to get anything that anybody dips their toe into that kind of universe or that kind of vibe. So um,
Nice. Hell yeah.
yeah,
That's my book, Children of the Gore.
yes, there. And it's a beautiful cover. But like I said, we can get into all that. But the most important question of the day is Freddie, Jason, or Michael?
I love them all. I am above all a Halloween fan,
Okay,
which kind of makes me a masochist a little bit in terms of the franchise itself.
right.
Jason would be like my second favorite. I'm a massive fan of the franchise as well. But yeah, Michael's probably my favorite.
Okay.
Jason a close second, and I also love
I mean,
Freddy.
heck, he not love Freddie. I mean, I mean, somebody did point out that he's a pedophile, which I was like, yeah, that's a good point. But as a killer, he's a tremendous villain. He's one of the best villains there is. Jason is my guy. I'm always pro Jason in these conversations, but I
Sure.
understand how important Michael is to what we do. So, um, what is your favorite Halloween?
I might go with Halloween 4.
Okay.
Um, Definitely up there. Basically, 1, 2, and 4 are my three favorites. And there's just something about that fourth one, despite the wonky mask, that's kind of fantastic.
Right.
And the stakes feel high because you have a child protagonist, and it captures the spirit of Halloween well.
Yeah, it does a good job of throwing back to the original opening sequence of Halloween to
Yeah,
kind of
it's
give us
great.
that vibe of a kid doing it and stuff.
Right, yeah, and then it ends that way too. Spoiler alert.
Right. It's been a while since I've seen four. I need to sit down and watch all of them. I usually end up watching, for some reason, I love two the
Yeah,
most
2
out of
is
the
great.
Michaels. And then I'm
Yeah,
a huge fan of three. So I'm going to have to
there you go.
ask, do you have an opinion on Seasons of the Witch, or are you
I
for
love
it,
it.
against it? Okay,
I
cool.
absolutely love it. Yeah, it might, it's just not in my top
Oh,
three,
yeah, for sure.
but
And it
it's
doesn't
great.
it doesn't tie into the Michael conversation at all either, which, I've noticed though that most people are either very pro Michael or pro Seasons of the Witch. Rarely do they mix the two, which I find funny because I think Seasons of the Witch is a fun movie. I don't understand why people why hardcore Michael fans don't seem to appreciate it.
Well, you can see I'm a fan of unpopular movies because I have a new Scary Movie 6 poster right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Just got that the other day.
I saw some comments and it did not seem to be faring well with the masses, but you know, there it's made for I usually can find something in every movie that I enjoy. But it's been a while since I've dived into scary movie stuff. But I
So
still
the
haven't seen any Scream movies past three, so
4 is actually really good.
I have it. I just haven't sat down to watch it, so I'll
I
have
would
to do that.
recommend it. I like Scream 4
Okay, very cool. Um, what's your thoughts on Rob Zombie's remake?
of Halloween.
Yeah.
It's okay. Um, Decent. The second one by him was a little weird. I'm not gonna to hate on it too much, but I definitely kind of prefer that first sort of arc, like
hmm
basically a 1 through 6
I was going to
is
say,
kind
what
of.
did you think of 2018? That
So
three-parter,
I liked that first one,
right?
but then I hated the two that came after it.
Yeah, exactly. As
Especially like the third one, Halloween Ends. I fucking hated so much.
I love that you said that because I think 2018 is darn near perfect in the way that they tried to pair it with the first one, and it's a really good movie. And it's like, oh, I get what they're doing.
I liked it.
I hated the second one so much that I watched
Yeah,
it actually the night before the third one was coming out. I hated it so much I refused to watch the third because there's just no
fair enough.
reason to see it. I mean, they
So
if that's what they came up with for two, I can't imagine how stupid three is. So
I go see every slasher movie at Thursday at 7 p.m. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
as early as possible. Now that they're doing those, and when that one came out, I I I cut. There was a kill at the beginning that I liked because it was a little audacious. Because spoiler alert, it was like a little kid
Hmm.
that they violently killed. But then about like maybe 15 minutes into it, I just leaned over to my wife and I was like, "This is fucking stupid." Like I hated
There's nothing worse than that feeling of,
it.
oh no, we've wasted our time and money on this nonsense and we got to sit through this at that
She didn't
early.
even want to go after Halloween Kills, but I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna see every Halloween movie regardless,
No, I get
and
that too. I get that because you're a big fan.
I
So,
have
and
to
that makes
I
sense.
have to see what they do. Like the new Scream sucked, but I'll see the next one. And also, I'm a Hellraiser guy, and
Hmm.
that's one of the worst franchises ever. On the opposite,
It is a bit
it's
all
rough.
over the place. Yeah, it is a rough one to get into. So, yeah, I agree. So,
I'll see. I've seen every Hellraiser movie, and most of them are bad.
yeah.
You know, they start out fucking perfect, and then like, depending on your opinion, they go really downhill pretty quick. But me and her are both in the same opinion that we think the Evil Dead franchise is basically perfect.
Yeah.
So
It's
we're
hard to
very
argue. I'm always shocked when somebody tells me they didn't like any of the remakes or the later ones because I
that Evil
think
Dead remake was great.
yeah, it was darn near the best remake I've ever seen. It captured everything perfectly, but also gave it a little dash of freshness that you weren't expecting because they don't normally do that. So
It was gnarly. I mean, I was like, stop reading this fucking book, but
yeah, I mean most of
also
these
please
movies,
keep reading.
yeah, most of these movies should be 3 minutes long. Stop messing with whatever it is. Quit poking the killer. Quit reading the book. Don't walk into the stupid haunted house, and we could be done with this. But
Well, to
I'm
bring
glad
it
they
back
do it. So
to bring it back to Freddy though, no one did anything really, none of
it's
the
true.
Elm Street kids, and you just go to sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
So Freddy is terrifying in that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's why the first one is so iconic, is because it broke every rule of what was established in these kind of, B-level horror slashers and stuff, and gave us a villain that you really couldn't do anything but face.
Yeah,
There was no way to get away from it. And
yeah.
in my mind, one and three are perfect. Those two are almost
Three,
always
yeah.
on a top 10 list. If you don't have one and three, you really probably just don't like the franchise. But especially if you're doing like 80s movies and stuff, I think Jason front to back is a good run. Some of them are kind of cheesy and they get kind of off the wall, but as a complete collection of a franchise, I do enjoy it. But with Freddy, it's one and three. Four's decent. It's funny. It may be a new nightmare because it was clever,
I
but a
like a new
lot,
nightmare.
yeah. But if you get like five and six on Nightmare on Elm Street, they're really just cash grabs, and you can tell.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Yeah, three is one of my favorites because I also really like Dawkins a lot. You
oh,
know,
very cool. Yeah.
so
Well, I don't know how old you are. I grew up on Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and so I think I probably watched that 2, 3 times a week for years. So it's kind of like ingrained
nice.
into my head. So and it's probably part of the reason why I'm as messed up horror wise as I am. So, but yeah, that's the one. That's my baby. I love that movie. But I always enjoyed my first dive into horror was Friday 13th 2 when I was
Great movie.
sneaking. Yeah, I was sneaking it on the movie channel while the parents were outside, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7, trying to watch it and sneak it in, and the mom's head on the table and all that stuff. I think that imprinted early too. So, um,
The vibes are so great, especially in those first four. It's a
yeah.
beautiful franchise. It's what I like. Can I segue that into my
Oh
my
yes,
slasher
please.
book that I have?
Oh, that's awesome.
Uh, This is the hardcover. I also have paperback, and audiobook is in the works
Very
now,
cool.
and it's on ebook, of course. But yeah, this is my slasher book. That's an actual like painted cover
Yeah, it's
paint.
beautiful. I love that cover, and I love a good slasher. So it's cool to see that you have something on the table with it.
Oh
Um,
yeah, um, academia. It's a whodunit that is set on a college campus with a ski mask killer. And what I've been saying and kind of challenging people, and so far no one has refuted me, is that I'm like saying this is the most violent piece of slasher media in existence.
all right,
Because
that's
I
pretty
think
cool.
I've pushed the kills beyond anything. It leaves Terrifier in the dust. Any slasher movie you think is gnarly, this one goes 10 times harder.
Very
That's,
cool.
I guarantee it.
There you go.
Until somebody writes something else that's
Right.
even crazier.
Yeah. It might be you. You might be you writing
Right.
something even crazier. There might be a
Academia
sequel.
2. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I was gonna
would
say a
love to
sequel
do a
in the
sequel.
works. Yeah.
It's been a successful book for me, so I would absolutely love to do a sequel.
That's
We'll
cool.
see.
Yeah, no, I love it when you write a good villain or monster and you enjoy it, so then you want to revisit it. And then I love it when it connects with the reader and they love it as much, and they want you to get back there. So that's always fun when you do something like that. Um, next up,
Yeah,
oh, what are you gonna say?
well, I think the feedback I've gotten on a couple of my books is that they end on a cliffhanger, and I'll just have someone really angry with me. They'll be like, "It ended on a cliffhanger. What happens next?" And I'm like, "I'll tell you what happens next. Like in the sequel, I guess."
Yeah, right. I have some books that have that same. I've been told that, but I'm like, no, I didn't write it. That's not a cliffhanger. That's how life is.
That's how it's supposed to end. Yeah,
Right?
like to
It's
me,
weird.
you don't always get that closure, and
Yeah, you
it's
don't always
just
get to know what happens next. Sometimes things just end. Sometimes
yeah,
everybody dies. And
yep,
unfortunately, that might make you upset as a reader, but um, that's how the story works. And it would become, yeah, I'm not writing Return of the King where we get 37 endings and we all get our
right.
happy, and we all get to go walk away happy. You know, sometimes
Love
it
that
just
book, by the
Right?
way.
Yeah, I do too. But I'm just saying, when you watch that Peter Jackson treatment, and it's like movie's over and there's still 45 minutes because he's got to give us the ending of every single character. It's like, yeah, it's all right. We can figure it out. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't happen, and sometimes you get to walk away from a book a little upset because you don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Um, and I
and
think
just
that's
real
cool.
life too.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's kind of how I look at. That's how I approach it every time I do stuff.
It's like the Zodiac killer,
Right?
you know.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, and that's a great movie too. I love that movie. But
Yeah,
the idea that we don't know really who it was, and we never get the closure, and how many? I mean, in real life, how many serial killers are out there that we never know who they really were, or um, and it's funny
hundreds.
how I think social media plays a big part of everybody wanting the answers, and they want, or maybe not just social media, but the fact that we have the phones in our hands and we can look anything up, Google,
Yeah,
you can get an answer for everything. But sometimes, especially in life, you don't get the answer, and I kind of like to reflect that in the books I write and stuff. So I'm
fair
happy to
enough.
hear
Yeah, me
that you
too.
do too.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
so the next thing up is favorite cryptid or creature, the one that you might like in a book or a movie or just or the legend of.
Chupacabra.
Very cool.
You know, me kind of being from South Texas, growing up.
I was gonna say it's in your area, right?
Yeah, I've spent most of my life in Central Texas, but my whole family's from like deep South Texas, and it was just like a thing
Hmm.
that I heard of when I was a kid and like literally believed in. So I think I'm gonna go with Chupacabra.
Very cool. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw a newspaper article about that. I think I might have been 16 or 17. Probably 17 or 18 because I was in Texas when it happened. I thought, oh, this is pretty cool, but it's not up in our neighborhood, so I won't be able to go check it out. So,
Yeah, one theory is that it's a coyote with mange.
yeah, I've heard that, but I don't know. I like I like some of the other deeper dives of what it could be.
Sure, yeah.
But it could be, and that's still pretty frightening. A mangy
Yeah,
coyote. So
for sure.
slap some rabies on it, and you really got yourself a story, and we can go from there. But yeah, no, I think a chupacabra is pretty cool. It's the first time we've had that. You know, um, I always swing to Goat Man because that's kind of what my most popular book is. But I really enjoy writing my Goat Man.
Poplick Massacre, right?
Yeah, I really enjoy writing my nonsense with the Goat Man, and my lives in that area, so I visited a lot and stuff.
So I listened to a podcast where you guys were talking about Night in the Lonesome October
Oh
with
yeah,
your
you listen
layman.
to that one? That's my
I
favorite.
did.
That's my favorite layman.
There is a literary device that I took from him that appears in this
Oh
book.
yeah,
I
okay.
won't spoil either book, but that's how I kind of learn what I want to do in my own work is just from reading a lot.
Hmm.
And I was reading that and I'm turning the page and there was something that he did in there that I was like, that's genius. And then, I think I was in the shower like a couple days later and I was like, I should do that in my own book.
That's awesome. Yeah, now I'm
You know,
excited to check another one out. And we got to. I was already sold on Slasher, and now you're telling me you got some ode to Layman in there. I'm definitely going to have to try that one too. So, um, yeah, no, he's my guy. He's the reason that I have any books out.
we can do a trade at the upcoming convention.
Sweet.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I've
yeah,
got
no.
more stuff to promote, by the way.
Oh yeah, keep diving it in. Anytime you feel like I've said something that you can throw in there,
Well,
slide
I'm
it
looking
in.
at this shirt, and this is
Yeah,
my most recent release. It's called Big Dogs Club, and I
it's a
have
great
shirts.
cover. It's a great cover.
It's based off the Big Dogs shirts that were sort of popular in the 90s and early
Hmm.
2000s. My brain works really weird, so that's what I have. And it's a body swap comedy,
Okay, that's cool.
a la Freaky Friday or what have you. But it's people being swapped with their dogs, and it's basically a cautionary tale to treat your dog well.
Right? Yeah, no,
Because,
that's awesome.
yeah, if they get the opportunity to
Yeah,
kind
right.
of take some anger out on you
Yeah.
because you didn't treat them right, it could be bad.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. That's great. And I do love the artwork on the cover and the
Yeah,
shirts.
and then speaking of shirt, I put my own band's logo
Oh,
on the
very
cover
cool.
by way of a shirt.
What's the band name? I didn't know you were in a band.
Yeah, we're called Sadistic Force.
Okay, that's a great name.
I think I've got this
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Sadistic Force thing over here. Yeah, so I mean that's my background, before I really got into to writing. I was into writing before I was a musician because like when I was like 5 years old, me and my mom were working on something, I was always very creative and I was making stories with my action figures and all that. But
Hmm.
basically my background is in like the underground metal scene and touring in vans and dingy dive bars and Sadistic Force is my band. I do vocals and play guitar
Very cool.
and it's a black thrash band,
Okay.
combination of thrash metal and black metal.
Uh-huh.
And in the book, the shirt like really is like a thing. So it's
It's always
it's
fun when you
just
can incorporate things that either are from your past or projects that you're working on and being able to kind of interweave it. It's fun to have those little Easter eggs for your fans
well,
and
I'm
and
trying to
introduce that
blend
too.
for sure, yeah. And like I put that at the end, that it's like I'm in that band. But I try to blend reality and fiction and like I want my characters to like bleed into this world in our
Right?
plane of reality.
That's awesome. Um,
Not until you meet these characters, it's not.
right, right. I'm not saying I
You
want
want
to
them
live
to
in the book, but
stay in the book.
right, right. 100%. Um, so
I've got one we do have to bring up that I'll have at the convention
okay.
that is fine to bring into this reality.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have it at the show? That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's not out yet, but I've got author copies.
Yeah, I saw your posts about it. I think that's amazing and fun that you guys are doing that too. Um,
Yeah, my best friend, he has a little boy and he's never like done a book. He had this idea cuz he was like I want kids to understand that they can be comfortable with themselves no matter how they look and that
mhm.
they should no matter how the other kids look, they should respect them and not tease them and stuff. So it was a great message and just obviously a total departure from what I usually do. It's like extreme horror and stuff. But yeah, it's the not so scary castle, and there's five monsters that are basically in the public domain, and then five children that each relate to each monster. And yeah, it's not coming out till July 3rd, but I'll have some copies on the table.
That's awesome. I think that's always fun too when you get to premiere something at an event and
Yeah,
let people see it for the first time and pick it up and check it out. So, um, and that's also cool. I think the message and what you're doing. So it's always good to have. And I think that's the cool thing about the indie horror community is that we almost all of us believe in that kind of thought process that we all belong. Doesn't matter who
for
you
sure.
are, what you're doing.
I love
Um,
it. I
we've
love
got an
that aspect.
open arms for pretty much everyone. Um,
I love that aspect, especially of like I'm super into extreme horror and splatterpunk. That it is such a wide range of people.
mhm.
We're all totally different and unique, but we have this thing that our common interest that is pretty niche, and most people might not even understand. So I really appreciate how diverse, just the fandom is, and also the writers too.
Yeah, yeah, it's a really cool little pocket of the indie community. I mean, as a whole, I mean, you'll definitely run into your cliques and your dickheads, but most of the
Sure.
time, people are pretty cool, and I do appreciate that aspect of it. That's a fun thing about going to these events is getting to meet everybody that maybe you might have run into online, but you get a chance to meet them in person and realize that yes, they are you know, the person that you thought they might be, or they confirm that yes, they are dickheads, and you don't have to worry about them anymore. And so that's always nice too. So, but one thing I like about this event, Texas Horror Lit Fest, is that it's filled with nice people. So I don't know
Nice.
everyone there, but the few that I don't, I'm excited to meet, and I have a feeling that it's going to be one of those events where I walk away thinking, "Oh, this was a great event," because everybody here is on the same page and they kind of get it. So. And that's what I love about some of these indie events. They gather the people that are excited to spread horror and have a good vibe with them, and the readers all pick up on that. And I think they get that. So I'm
I'm really
excited for
looking
this
forward
event.
to it. It's my first time doing it. I'm really new to the scene, so it's actually my first time doing one just outside of the Austin area.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm like, but my co-author on this book, he lives in Dallas, so I will be staying at his house,
Oh, that's even
and
cooler.
we will be signing all the copies together.
Very cool. That's awesome. Um, And then bringing up layman, it may not be the answer, but since you mentioned him, the last question I always ask is there a book or an author that kind of set you on your path to want to write horror in general, or maybe to focus on extreme?
I would say the very first stepping stone would be Off Season by Jack Ketchum, but I didn't really realize that I could make my own book. So the author that kind of informed me that that was even a possibility was Judith Sonnet,
Okay.
and so I would say either Beast of Burden by her or No One Rides for Free. So it's kind of a twofold answer, but
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's awesome that Judith was able to inspire you to get it on paper and get it out there,
I had no idea it was something I could do.
right?
I assume most people don't either, and sometimes people are kind of in awe of the fact that, I've done a kid's book and books for adults, a hardcover,
Hey, yeah, no, I
you
mean, it's
know.
a big deal. You got a book out, and there's a
It's
lot of
no easy
people.
feat.
Yeah, it's not. There's so many levels to it, and I don't know if people realize how much hard work it is to get a book out there, but also just to have the, for lack of a better term, courage to put yourself out there, because that's what we do every time we write a book. No matter what we're writing about, a little bit of ourselves is bled into every page. So, some people don't want to do that or put themselves out in that anyway. And I feel like it's a pretty big deal if you put a book out. Just I mean, it's you're pulling back the curtain a little bit,
I
and you're
caught the
sharing
bug.
yourself. The
As soon
bug,
as I did the first one, I've just been basically addicted to it. I
that's
love it
awesome.
so much,
Yeah.
It's like I can just spend all of my waking hours, anything where it's not dedicated to the band or just, eating food, or you know what I mean.
Hmm.
I I have no problem just putting all of my energy into working on books because it's fun,
Yeah, that's
you know.
awesome. I
And
see
if you're
that.
not having fun doing it, stop doing it. That's my
Right.
advice.
Yeah. I mean, because yeah, when it becomes real work, then it can be a bit of a problem.
It's work,
It is, but I'm saying, you know what I mean, when it's
Yeah,
like clocking into your 9 to 5 and you're just
yeah,
there,
yeah,
it's not. Yeah, you want to have a little bit more passion for it and have a good time doing it,
yeah.
which I think the events kind of do for me. They kind of reignite that when you get a chance to run into readers that maybe you haven't met yet, and run into readers that come to all the events. It's fun to just see people's reaction to the nonsense you put out. So
Yeah, for sure. And anytime anyone says something positive about my book, I get this warm, fuzzy
yeah,
feeling, and I've got the website, people can order signed copies, and I absolutely love personalizing the books and putting in a ton of extras. I try to make it special for each person. And I would love to do that all day and all night, you
right.
know.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like we're getting the flashing like times running out. So I'm going to give the info for the event.
Yeah.
Texas Horror Lit Fest. It is June 27th, 28th, 10 to 6 both days. It's a free event, but if you get a ticket, you can enter a raffle with that ticket. Go to the Eventbrite page and sign up. Let us know you're coming. And then also, when you come, you got to go to James's table and he's going to show you some books. What else are you going to have at the table?
The only one I haven't mentioned, I'm gonna have way more than this, but
Hmm.
I wanted to promote Ghost Knife by Dave Davis.
Oh, very cool.
I published it. You can see I got my
Hmm.
logo back there, Pure Abandon. It's got to be, illegible metal
Right, right. I
lettering,
get
but
it.
Pure Abandon Press, and I also put out one of the Sadistic Force releases, Pure Abandon Records. And yeah, I'll have a few copies of this,
That's cool.
Yeah, so
Congratulations. That's awesome. You're expanding your empire.
yeah, I
Very cool.
published somebody else's book.
That's
It's
awesome.
pretty cool.
And sometimes that might be the only way those books get out there, and I think that's cool when people take the time out of their day to help other
It's his
authors get out there.
first novella. He's got work in some anthologies, but
Hmm.
this is his first standalone
Very cool.
release. So
Very cool.
check it out.
Uh, Swing by and grab as many as you can, and you have to take the challenge. Did he write the most gruesome slasher? So you need to be being copies of that for sure.
Tell me what's gnarlier than mine. I would love to hear it. If I probably haven't seen it yet, so I want to check it out.
For sure. All right. Well, thank you for jumping on, and I will see you in 10 days. That's amazing, too. So,
Yeah, it's coming right up. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
yep. Take it easy.
All right, take it easy.